In this session, we'll take a look into the electronic resources that the Library of University of Latvia offers. And I'll show you where you can find the resource lists, how to access the databases, and we'll also take a look in a couple of databases on how to search in them and how to download the full text documents. Now, the library provides a wide range of subscribed full text databases, including full text books, e-journals, and other kinds of electronic resources. And also in our website there is a list of open access databases that you can also use, and you can be sure that if the resource is included in the resource lists of the University of Latvia library, that is a reliable resource and suitable for your study and research work. And this is the link to our library website, which we'll also open now. So now we are in the website of the Library of University of Latvia. This is the main site where you can get all of the information about options to search information resources. Here are all the resource lists, and here you can see all of the services we provide. Also, we organize trainings on how to use a library and specific resources. And here is all of the contact information. If you have any questions about our services or access to the resources, don't hesitate to call us or write us an email. And here is also an online form if you prefer that. But of course, you're welcome to come to the library and talk to us in person. The medical library is in the House of Science. And the library itself is open all day, every day, 24/7. And you just have to take your student's ID so you can stay and study in the library at night as well. So now let's see where you can access the electronic resources. In section resources, let's select subscribed resources in the beginning. I'll also want to note that the link to this section is located also in the main University of Latvia website. In section studies under libraries, there is link to e-resources, and also in the e-studies platform upper section, Library of University of Latvia offers databases, and in your LUIS profile section studies databases. So let's return to the library website, and here in the resource section you can see all of the subscribed resources. On the right side we can see that there are several sections. We can see e-resources listed alphabetically from A to Z. So if you know a specific database already, you can search it by its name. Or if you don't know specific databases yet, you can search the section e-resources by discipline. And I think this is a very convenient way to see all of the relevant databases in your discipline. So let's open medicine and pharmacy, and here we can see that the resources are grouped by their type. E-journals ebooks, and other kinds of materials. And also important thing to note are the icons next to each resource. The green open lock means that this database is open access. It's available to everybody without restrictions, and we just have included these resources in our collection for easier search. But these are available for anyone outside of the university. On the other hand, the resources marked with the red locked lock are the subscribed resources, which are accessible only for the students and staff of University of Latvia. All of these subscribed resources are available from the premises of University of Latvia if you connect to the Wi-Fi or you use university's computer, or these resources are available also outside of the university from your home, and in that case you will have to enter your LUIS username and password to access the content. So let's open one of the medical databases, which will take a look further as well. Clinical key. Let's click on the information icon, and here we can see that we have two connection options from the University of Latvia or outside the University of Latvia. As I'm now working from home, I'll select this one, and I have to enter my LUIS username and password in order to continue my work. And I'm successfully connected to the database. And this way you can connect to all of the subscribed content. If you ever have any difficulties connecting to these databases, please come to the library or contact us, as I previously show you where the contacts are. Just write us an email. The consultant will respond you and will try to sort the problem out. And now I want to introduce you with the Primo Discovery search engine that our library offers. This tool is designed for easier search. You can use it to search information in the whole of the library's collection and also manage your library account, which I will show you in a minute. At first, where you can access Primo. It's of course from the library website in section Search and Find, Primo, but there are also quick links in the main University of Latvia webpage in section Studies, Primo, or in eStudies platform in the section Library of University of Latvia offers, link to Primo and also other library resources. So you can open it from the most convenient place for you. So let's turn to the library webpage. Here is general information about Primo. As I already mentioned, it can be used to search information in the whole library collection, including printed resources, books, journals, and also electronic resources, including our subscribed databases and a list of open access content. The resources included in Primo you can also see here. There are 3 lists, and there are millions and millions of resources that you can search for your study and research needs. Yeah, so all of the information about Primo is available from library's website. But now let's open Primo itself. So in order to start searching, you should sign in with your Luis username and password. And I have successfully logged in Primo. So to start the searching, the easiest way is to just enter your keywords here in the search box. But I advise you to use advanced search to get more precise results. So the first thing to note is the search scope. We can either search in everything, or we can select Union Catalog, in which case we will find mostly printed books. We can select online databases, in which case we will find electronic resources, books or journals or other kinds of materials. And we can also search information in the two databases that the University of Latvia Library creates. But for now, I will leave the search scope to everything, and I will enter my keywords. To search for a phrase, use quotation marks. So these are my keywords, and here I can specify in which field these should appear. I will select the title, and here you can select the settings of the keywords. Should it be the exact keywords you have entered, or it should start with them? I will leave it to contains, and I will add another keyword. And for this one, I can also specify which field should it appear in, and I can select a Boolean operator. So you can experiment also with that. And you can add new lines. For example, if you know the author of the resource, or you know the specific journal or the subject, publisher, or other criteria. And you can also specify other data. For example, I want to search for articles, but as you can see, there are different kinds of resource types. So I will select articles, but of course you can leave it to everything as well. And here we can select the language and the publication dates. I will select the last 10 years, but as you can see, you can specify also the 1 year or a period of time if you know a specific resources you want. And let's search. So I have got 3 results, which is very nice. But sometimes if you enter more general search query, you will experience that you are found thousands of resources. In that case, you can use the filters on the right side, where you can specify further criteria like subject, authors, journals, databases. You can even further specify the publication dates. So this is very convenient, but for now I have appropriate amount of results. Let's open one of them by clicking on its title. And here is the full view of the entry of this article. And here you can get more specific data, including the title of the article, all of the authors, the journal name and issue. And if you scroll down a bit, so here you can also see the subjects added. As you can see, there are active links. You can also click on them and further your search by these subjects. Here is the abstract of the article, so you can read it from here to evaluate this resource. Please take a look also in this section. Here you can either export the reference file for the article if you're using one of these formats. You can also create the citation here in different reference styles if you are using one of them, and just copy it straight into your work. You can also extract the link to this entry or send it to email or print it. So this can be very useful when you are writing your study works. Another convenient option is to save this entry in your favorites list. By clicking this pin, I will show you where your favorites list is in a minute. But yeah, to access the full text of the article, you just have to click on the green link. Now we are brought to a sub window where we can see in which databases this article is available. You can select any of them by clicking Go. We are brought to the specific database from where we can just read the article or online, or download it in formats offered. Important thing to understand is that from here you are brought to different databases outside of the Primo. These can be either open access databases or subscribed databases. Like in this case, for example, EBSCOhost is one of our subscribed databases. And by opening it, we are asked to enter the LUIS username and password. And when we have done that, we can access the full text document. So remember, if you by chance can't open the article from one database or you are not familiar with it, you can select any of them. So let's return to Primo. Let's close this view and let's clear our search query. And now let's try to search for a book. Oh, I have searched for it already. So as I already mentioned several times, in Primo we can search for printed and electronic resources. And in this case, this book is available in 3 versions. Let's see what those are. Yeah, and here we can see the access type of the books. For example, this 2020 edition is available in the Library of Natural Sciences, but this 2012 edition is available online and also in the library. So let's try to open the electronic book, and we are brought here to the full text of the book and work with it in the database. Or if you prefer printed book, you can request it to receive it in the library. So I open the full record of the book. Here we can see all the same information as we saw in the article. Case, there is title, authors, and other information. An interesting feature in Primo is a virtual shelf where you can see other books that are similar to this one. So you can browse the shelf and see the access options of other books as well. So definitely take a look also there. But to request a book, we have to select one of the copies. Here we can see the loan period that it will be available for. For example, this one is available only in the reading room, so we can't request it, but we can request this one now. An important thing to note are these dates next to each copy, which means that this book has been borrowed by another student until this date. So for now, all of the copies are taken out by other students except for one, which is on shelf, and I can use it in the library. But anyway, I can request the book. I will be automatically added to queue, so when the previous reader returns the book to the library, it will be reserved for me. This is how you can request a book on Primo. And remember always to check all of the access options. Like in this case, as we saw, the book wasn't available to take home from the library, so I can still use it online. And now let's try to search for another book, which I know is printed copy. So I'm selecting Union Catalog and searching for a phrase. Yeah. In this case, as we can see, this book is available in the Library of University of Latvia storage. So the books from the storage house can be still requested. And when we request the book, we have to select the library where we want it to be delivered. I'll select the Library of the Science Center and send request. So the requested books from the storage house are delivered every Thursday. So on Thursday, usually in the afternoon, you can go to the library you requested the delivery to and receive your book. Now let's take a look in your library account, which is also available in Primo. Under your name, you can select My Library card, and here you can see the information on your loan books, your requested books, and the library fees if you ever have any, but I'm sure you won't, because here is very convenient option to renew the loan periods. You can either renew them one by one or renew all. So please always remember to do that. You don't have to come to the library or call the library. You can renew the dates here in Primo. And here are all the requested books. As we can see, I'm waiting in the queue still for these books, but when they are reserved for me, here will be a notification that the book is reserved and I can go to the library to pick it up. And the last section I wanted to show you is the favorites lists. As you remember, we saved the article information here. We can also see our search history and perform the search again. And if we have saved any searches, those are also visible here. So we don't have to create the search query again. Next time we can just click on it here, and the same search is performed again. And that's briefly about the Primo Discovery search engine. Please remember that you can also access it from the main University of Latvia webpage Primo or e-studies section Library of University of Latvia offers. Now let's open one of the subscribed databases, Science Direct. You can find it in either subscribed e-resource list or e-resources A to Z, and also in the section e-resources in disciplines. This is a multidisciplinary database which contains full-text scientific journals, books, and other kinds of materials. You can connect to this database either from the University of Latvia or outside of the university. I'm going to select now because I'm working from home. I'm logging in with my Louis username and password, and I'm successfully logged in. Now the reason I chose to show you this database is because this is a very rich database in its contents, and also it's quite typical database in its layout and features. And as I'm not able to show you all of the subscribed databases we offer, I chose this one because if you understand how this database works, you will also be able to navigate other databases. So as usual, we have two main methods to search content. You can either browse information resources by topic under journals and books, or you can search information by keyword. Let's start with advanced search, as I'm always recommending to use advanced search to get more precise search results. Let's enter our keyword. If you already know a specific author or journal or book title that you want to search in, you can enter it also here. I don't know. I'll just make a general search, but I want to search only for the newest materials, for example, the last 10 years. And here below we can select what kinds of materials we want to search. For now, let's select only research articles, but as you can see, there is a wide range of material types. Let's search. So we still got pretty much of results, more than 11,000. So to narrow the results, I suggest you to use filters on the left side. For example, we can again narrow down the publication date. We can select specific journal in which the resource should be, or the access type. This database also contains open access resources, so we have also those available. But about the access, on the result list we can see that for some articles there is a green dot, and for some there isn't, and that means this article isn't in our subscribed collection. So we can also filter out those which are unavailable to us. So now we have a bit less results, but these are the ones that we have full access to. And here we can sort the results also by date. Now they're sorted by relevance. And now let's open one of the articles by clicking on its title. And here in the upper section we can see the journal information. So this article is published in the Journal of the American Academy of Dermatology. Here is the article title, and here are all the authors. We can also click on them to see other articles which they have published. On the left side we can navigate through the article itself. Useful way to search information further on your topic is to open the reference section and see which articles or books this author has used, and you can continue your information search through here. If the resource is available in this database, ScienceDirect, you are able to go directly to that, or you can search the resource in Google Scholar. So that's a tip from me about information search. Here we also can see that there are images and tables. For example, images can be downloaded as a separate resource themselves. And you can also download the whole article in your computer or to print out. So that's also available. And on the right side we have suggestions for similar articles, which is also a very useful feature that we can use. And from this article you can go straight to the journal page. If you want to see other articles that are published in the journal, the latest issue and the journal archive, and you can search for your keyword in this specific journal as well. Let's return to the home page, and Let's take a look on how we can search information by browsing the database. By clicking on the journals and books section, we are provided with the list of all of the journals and books that are published in the Science Direct database. And here we can again make a search by keyword, but in this case let's filter the resources by using these filters. So first, again, I advise you to filter out the content that is available to you, that is open access, and the subscribed content. Let's select books and the domain or the discipline that we are interested in. Select health sciences, and we have 60 books in this discipline. So let's open one of the books. So the full text of this book is available to us. Here is the general information about the book, and also suggested other books. And we can navigate the book here through the table of contents or by searching our keyword in the full text of the book. Let's open one of the chapters directly. And here we can see that the layout is similar to the article view. Again, we can navigate the chapter here on the left side. We have also the images that we can download, or we can download the whole chapter at once. And on the right side, there are other suggested resources we can further read. And to return to book, just click on its title and go to other chapters if needed. So that's briefly it about the Science Direct database. Again, you can connect through the library webpage, and also it's indexed in the Primo Discovery engine. If you use Primo, all of the contents from Science Direct are available through Primo as well. And now let's continue with one of the subscribed databases, Clinical Key, which is designed for research work, clinical practice, and student training. This database contains more than 100,000 full-text resources, including e-journals, e-books, guidelines, videos, and other materials. And we'll explore that today. First, we have to connect to the database. We have two options: either to connect it from the University of Latvia or outside of university, which I will select now. I have to enter my username and password. And the important thing to remember about this database is that if you want to use it outside of the University of Latvia, you have to create your personal account while you are connected to the university's network. So if you haven't done that, next time you're in the university, just open the database and create your account with your username and the password. So I have logged in with my personal account. And now let's briefly explore the information search options in Clinical Key database. There are basically two main ways to search, either by keyword or by browsing the materials. Let's type in our keyword at first. As I'm typing, I'm suggested with other keywords that I can select. And also I can choose to search in all of the content or specific material types. I'll select journals and search. And I have a pretty large search result list, more than 12,000 results. I can narrow this list by using these filters on the left side. For example, I can add more material types, or I can select the specialties I'm interested in. And for example, let's select to see only resources that are published in the last 12 months. To open an article, you have to click on its title. And here we can navigate the article. We have an option to download the PDF file and save it in our computer. If you have logged in with your personal account, you can save the resource in your favorites list, which I will show you a bit later. And of course, email the record information or print it out. And we can also go to the journal and browse the journal to see other articles. And other way we can explore the content is by browsing. To start browsing, we have to select the material type. Let's take books. And here on the right side we can select the specific topic we are interested in, or we can also search by title. As I'm typing, I'm also provided suggestions, book suggestions. Let's select one of them. And here is the full text of the book. We can either search a keyword in the full text of the book, or we can just go to the exact chapter we are interested in, and also select to save this chapter, download it in our computer, or use it online. And a lot of the books contain videos, which can also be useful for your studies. So definitely look in this section as well. And now let's return to the main page and take a look in other types of materials we can browse. The same way we found the dermatology book, we can browse the journals by their title or the topic. Very useful resource is a section Clinical Overviews, where we can find reports on different diseases and their diagnosis, symptoms, terminology, treatment, and other data, as well as drug information on different drugs. Brief description and other data. Of course, a wide range of guidelines, which you can also search the same way for your interest topic, and printable sheets for patients with the mostly asked questions and simple information that your patients would need to know, and different kinds of images and procedure videos, which can also be very useful in your study process or your practical work. Let's try to open one of the videos. We are provided with brief information and the video itself. And in the tools section, there are a list of clinical calculators available, which you can surely use in your day-to-day practice. They are grouped by the specific field. And you can try to use them as well. So these are the main options in the clinical key database. And in your account information, you have option to change language if you need to, and see your saved content. So you don't have to search for it again and again. You can just access your saved folder. And in the end, I just want to remind you again that if you want to use this database outside of the university, please remember to create your personal account while you are in the university. And lastly, I want to show you one of the subscribed databases which is designed to support research work for students and academic staff. Let's open database Sage Research Methods. You can connect to it as usual, either from the University of Latvia or outside of the university. I am at home right now, so I'll connect from home with my Louis username and password. So this database contains full text books, encyclopedias, videos, case studies, and several research tools which you can use for your research work or study works that you may have to carry out. And you can use this resource to understand which methods may suit your project the best, how to carry out data collection and data analysis, and other stages of research. So to explore this database's content, as usual, we have option to search by keyword or browse the content by topic, by your discipline, or the content type. For now, let's try to search in advanced search. Let's search for research ethics. To search for phrase, you have to put it in the quotation marks. Here you can specify in which of the fields the phrase should be. Let's keep it on full text. And here we can define other search criteria. I will select search for publications from the last 10 years. And for now I will select only books, but as you can see, there are many other material types that you can search for. And as discipline, well, we'll select medicine. And let's take public health as well. And let's search. So we have got our result list of 68 books. If you want to narrow your search results further, you can use the filters on the right side. But for now, let's open one of the resources. This is a book chapter, the second chapter of this book. So our options: we can either read the chapter online or download the full text as PDF to print out it later, or just save in our computer. We can search our keyword in this specific chapter and navigate the sections of the chapter. And other options include a citation tool. We can create a citation in our style that we use. We can share this resource in an email with our colleagues. And we can add this chapter to our reading list. But in that case, we have to create our personal account in the database, and then we'll be able to add resources in our personal favorite list to read it later. To go to the whole book, we just have to click on the book title. And from there, we can continue by reading the rest of the book. Here are all the chapters of the book, or we can again search for the keyword in the book. So that's briefly about the searching by keyword in advanced search. But of course you can use the searching by browsing, by clicking on one of the topics or your discipline. This database is pretty easy to navigate. And the other section I want to bring your attention to is research tools. There are 4 useful tools. At first, let's take a look in the methods map. This map contains a list of concepts and terms regarding the research process and research methods. And you can use this to try to find out which methods are the most suitable for your project and how the concepts are related to each other. So, research methods, let's see what the narrower terms are. We were interested in research ethics. Let's open that. And here are various aspects of research ethics. Let's select ethical approval. We are provided with a short definition of the concept, and we can, by clicking on this link, we can search for materials regarding ethical approval. And from there, again, we can open videos, books, probably case studies, if there are, as in this case there are. Case studies are brief summaries of research projects that other scientists have conducted, and by reading them you can learn from their experience and understand how their experience may apply to your project. And these case studies, of course, you can also read online or download as PDF. They are available full text as well as the books. Yeah, let's return to research tools. Reading lists are created by users. As I mentioned before, you can create your own reading list, and if you select to keep it public, then other users of the database can see them. And this is the section you can see other people's reading lists. But yeah, let's take a look in the project planner, which can help you plan your research project stage by stage. In each of these stages you are provided with basic questions. Let's open one of them. A brief introduction on what you should do in this research stage, and questions that you can read and try to answer yourself, and that way you're sure that you won't miss any of important stages of the research. This project planner may serve as your supervisor on the research. Yes, and here near each of the questions you can read the description provided and search for results regarding that topic. And yeah, we will have again the result list, and here from these results we can continue to explore the topic. And the last research tool, which can be useful if you carry out quantitative research with statistical data, you can take which stats test. This will help you to select which statistical tests you can carry out on your data set. Let's just fill out this quiz randomly. You just have to answer all of the questions about your data. And I'm provided with McNamara test. And by clicking here, I can read about this test and understand if it's really applicable on my data. And you probably already noticed that near each resource I opened, on the right side there is a link to the methods map that we can open at any time and further our search through there. And that's briefly about the SAGE research methods. As I mentioned, it contains more than 1,000 full-text books, encyclopedic entries, videos, case studies, and very practical research tools. So if you have to start to plan your project, this database is very useful. To connect this database, you have to open the website of the Library of Latvia, and also the resources from SAGE research methods are indexed in Primo. So if you prefer to use Primo, the books are searchable through there.